Donald Trump has done a lot of horrible things to lawyers, not pay them, not shut his mouth and make his cases more difficult for his lawyers. But he did something over the weekend that is really something else. Donald Trump described an alleged sexual assault that he is accused of having participated in as his lawyers just look on in horror. They just look on in horror. Donald Trump potentially opening himself up to further defamation claims against him. It's almost beyond words what Donald Trump did. And if you're watching, keep an eye on the lawyers as he delivers this bizarre speech.
Now, there were two witnesses. One is a woman who's followed me for years. She said in 1979, I was in an airplane with her, commercial flight, and we became very intimate. I just sat down. I think I had the book, The Art of the Deal. I was famous then, too. I've been famous for a long time. And we're sitting in first class, according to her. Never happened, by the way. Totally made up story. She's a Clinton person, too, by the way. Big Clinton person. She made
At this point, his lawyers are panicking.
up the story. And so many years ago, and I think it would be 1979. One of my many people behind me could correct it, but I think she said 1979. That's a long time ago. And I sat down. I believe I had some pretty big success then, and I was being talked about a lot. Maybe The Art of the Deal was out, sometime after that. I'm not sure. But I was well known. And passengers are coming into the plane. And she said I was making out with her. And then, after 15 minutes, and then she changed her story a couple of times, maybe it was quicker, that I grabbed her at a certain part, and that was when she had enough.
Now, by the way, the real focus here is Trump's recreation of the sexual assault. Trump's book, The Art of the Deal, came out in 1987. So even like everything he's saying it's like off by decades. It's all crazy.
So think of the impracticality of this. I'm famous. I'm in a plane. People are coming into the plane. And I'm looking at a woman, and I grab her, and I start kissing her and making out with her.
Now, if you're Trump's lawyers, you're thinking, why are you even putting these images in the minds of people? If this is a scenario you want to distance yourself from, you don't go over each detail.
Chances of that happening. What are the chances? And frankly, I know you're going to say it's a terrible thing to say, but it couldn't have happened. It didn't happen. And she would not have been the chosen one.
Right. She's not attractive enough for Trump to sexually assault her, is what he's getting at.
She would not have been the chosen one. She has gone around for years saying the story. Everywhere I go, she says this story. And it's a total lie.
74 million people in this country voted for this guy just a few short years ago. And the same or more may vote for him in the forthcoming election. Wow. As Trump rambled about this individual, this woman, he then doesn't remember her name and looks for it in his notes but can't find it. And it's just all crazy.
And her name was whoever. Let's see. Her name was who? Swornoff, yeah. I don't have it. Whatever her name was. I don't know the lady, so perhaps it's much better that way. But
yeah, her name is actually irrelevant anyway because I've never met her. And here's a list of 10 things I never did to her. So don't even put those 10 things in your mind. With his lawyers standing behind him during this really strange press conference, Trump said he's really not happy with the work his lawyers are doing.
And I'm disappointed in my legal talent, I'll be honest with you. They're good. They're good people. They're talented people. Today at the trial, they didn't mention the dress. So the Monica Lewinsky type dress was a big part of the trial. Big part of the trial. I said, why didn't you mention that? And I heard there was a dress involved.
Yeah. So Trump saying while out there with his lawyers, he really doesn't like the job that they're doing. And then, of course, despite all of this, Alina Habba, one of Trump's lawyers, comes forward and says she can tell you for sure she's a woman. She's been around Trump, and he certainly hasn't sexually abused her.
And as a woman who has stood with President Trump, who has spent extensive time with President Trump and with his beautiful family, I will tell you, that is not President Trump, and I completely am disgusted by what I have seen happen to this person, his family, and the Trump organization that we stand in right now.
You know, it's funny. The fact that there are women he hasn't sexually assaulted is not the greatest evidence that he doesn't sexually assault women. And of course, the testimony and the claims of all the women who say he has sexually assaulted him certainly contradict that. And then, so just like a little cherry on top, Trump does mention that tomorrow night's debate against Kamala Harris is going to be rigged against him. I mean, you can't write this stuff.
I'm going into very hostile territory shortly on a debate with ABC, George Slopadopoulos and that group. And ABC, I think, is the worst of everybody. I think they're the worst. They're the nastiest. They're as bad as you can be. They're worse than NBC, which is saying a lot. And we have something coming. And the reason I'm doing it is because that's the only one that she would do it with, because her best friend is the head of ABC or ABC News, and her husband's best friend is married to that one. So, and Donna Brazile is there. You remember the famous Donna Brazile? She gave Hillary Clinton the questions. You remember that? That was a little embarrassing. She got fired, I assume, for that.
All right. So Trump is preparing us that tomorrow night's debate will be rigged, and part of the reason why is it's on ABC. Here's my takeaway. Aside from, boy, these Trump lawyers, I don't know what they're thinking. The debate may be the most anticipated presidential debate, certainly that I can remember. I will be live starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I hope that you'll join me. Being this close to the presidential election, noise from the right on things like who Tim Walz really is and how Kamala Harris handled immigration as the supposed borders are is only going to intensify, and that's why I've been using Ground News as a solution. Our longtime sponsor, Ground News, gathers related news and adds important context that might influence how each outlet frames the facts. My Vantage plan even gives me access to their election-focused blind spot feed, diverse perspectives on the most pressing issues and the latest stories on each candidate, so you can determine the truth on who they really are, not just hearing the loudest and most biased opinions. For each story you read on their platform, you'll find every article Ground News found reporting on it, as well as tags next to the source indicating if they're independently owned or not, how credible their reporting is, if they have any political bias, making it really easy to critically analyze different perspectives and come to your own conclusion. Ground News is independent and subscriber supported, but my viewers will save 40% on the same Vantage plan that I use. For unlimited access to all of their features, go to ground.news/Pacman or scan my QR code to subscribe.